GSL Super Tournament Season 2. Africa TV, Africa Studio, live. 2018 GSL Super Tournament Season 2.
We're back. It's time for the final day of the GSL Super Tournament. We have the semifinals and the finals. And this is actually our last day doing StarCraft 2 here in the GSL studio for 2018.
Yeah, GSL ends after tonight. This is it until BlizzCon.
Yeah. And of course, we'll be back next year with a lot more great stuff here at the GSL studio. But we're getting to the final chapters here for StarCraft 2 2018. We're going to get to see who gets that last spot into BlizzCon, who's going to win the Super Tournament. And, then you and me are going to be in LA pretty soon, man.
It's going to be a crazy tournament, no doubt. And a lot of things are getting decided, not just that last spot. But depending on how well Dark does, it changes all the groups for BlizzCon as well.
Let's meet our two players, says Yuri. Hello, hello, hello.
자, 김유진 선수의 블리즈컨을 향한 여정 참 흥미진진합니다. 큰 산을 넘고 4강에 오신 소감 어떠신가요?
It's quite interesting to see you two get here. How do you feel to be in the semifinals?
이런 경우가 없는데 매년 똑같은 것 같아가지고
I'm regretting not making as many achievements earlier on in the year. It feels like this happens to me every year where I have to try to give it my all at the end of the year. Anyway, I'm glad I've got this opportunity. I don't want to miss out.
조금은 밀려오시는 것 같아요. 자, 김유진 선수, 강민수 선수 군단의 심장부터 즐기게 이어온 인연이거든요. 그런데 올해 이 두 분의 전적이 없습니다.
You guys have had a rivalry since Heart of the Swarm. You've had to face each other several times before. Against Solar, what kind of games do you expect to have?
상위 라운드를 못 가가지고 못 만난 것 같고.
Well, recently we haven't actually played that much. Neither of us are making it that far in tournaments. But I remember there were plenty of games I've lost to him, so I'm going to have to be careful.
나눠보겠습니다. 강민수 선수의 블리즈컨 여정 역시 참 흥미진진합니다. 많이 긴장도 되실 것 같아요.
Solar, this has also been an interesting path for you here getting to BlizzCon. You must be nervous. This is a critical moment. So honestly, before I started the Super Tournament, I didn't really believe I was going to make it to BlizzCon. I thought it was going to be too difficult.
욕심나지 않으세요? 계속 마음을 비우고 계신다고
So I'm not in a great mindset right now. So you keep saying that you keep talking about your mindset, but your opponent is SOS. He's the master of mind games.
결승을 가면 좀 긴장이 될 것 같다.
Are you still saying that you can focus in on a player like this?
물어보기도 했습니다. 올해는 이 두 선수가 만난 적이 없으세요?
He says I'm okay now, but I'd be more nervous in the finals. So far, you guys haven't met each other this year. How do you expect today's matches to go? Whenever I'm against SOS, our games are really interesting.
저희도 그렇게 예상을 하고 있는데요.
I think it's going to be a very close match, maybe 3-2.
두 선수가 마지막으로 어떤 말씀하실지 참 기대가 됩니다. 김유진 선수.
Obviously, this is a very important moment for both of you. So much on the line. What do you have to say before we start?
같아서는 3-0으로 이기고 싶지만 민수가 잘해가지고.
Actually, I'd like to win 3-0, but Solar's pretty good. I'm going to hope for. He says, okay, whatever. Let's just empty our minds and just go. Let me get to the finals. What about you, Solar? And Solar says, all right, if you say that, I'm going to win.
선수의 자신감 있는 답변까지
Okay.
들어봤습니다.
And that basically does it for our interview, guys.
슈퍼토너먼트 시즌 2 4강전 참 중요한 무대인데요. 지금까지 이 경기 김유진, 강민수 선수와 함께했습니다.
SOS for Solar. This is not what I expected to have here on this side of the bracket.
Yeah, definitely was not expecting it, but I'm glad that it's happening because these two still are in the running for BlizzCon. It's very simple. If Solar wins the whole tournament, he goes to BlizzCon. If he does not, SOS goes to BlizzCon.
Yeah. This is going to be fun. I think you're rooting, or not rooting, you really think Solar is going to be the guy to take this. I personally, being a tasteless, I'm going to go with an SOS here.
You think SOS is going to
I always bet on SOS.
But didn't Solar just beat Stats pretty single-handedly yesterday?
But me, being a tasteless, I always count SOS.
Where was Tasteless when he was playing Maru? Where was Tasteless then? Can't stay true to yourself.
I
can
wasn't
you?
being a tasteless then.
Fair weather.
I wasn't
fan.
being true to myself.
No, you got to
I was
always
a liar.
be.
I was
You
a
gotta always
fraud.
be.
I was a
Look,
fibber.
I still think Leenock might get top 4 at this tournament. Okay.
It actually took me a minute. I was like, wait, what? I'm like, but he's. Oh,
Yeah.
you're good. So we're going to be jumping into this match momentarily. Again, SOS, one of the scariest players in a best of 5, a best of 7, but Solar is looking better than I've seen him play in a long time.
Yeah, he really is, which is exciting. I hope that he can, move on to that finals and give us a real nail biter for that last spot.
Yeah.
Whoever ends up winning, I don't really mind who goes to BlizzCon. Of course, if SOS wins, it kind of ruins the Serral World Champion scenario, right? Because BlizzCon, he's never
we're going to be
lost.
looking at Maru and Serral, and SOS is going to win again.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Let's see what happens here. I mean, it's funny because in these interviews that other players have been having, they keep talking about SOS, or I'm sorry, I'm talking about Solar, and saying that he is looking really good.
Yeah.
Everybody's losing to him on ladder. Obviously, he's a respected pro gamer, but to hear a lot of other people saying that makes me wonder. Maybe he can actually come out on top here against SOS.
Yeah.
He seems to know how to control the early game really well. That's what he was doing to stats. The question is, how weird is SOS going to play?
Yeah. What is he actually going to bust out here?
Yeah.
Will we see more standard plays? Is he going to have very sharp, tricky plays? The thing is, Solar's a pretty brainy player, so he might be able to figure out what's going on and deflect it. I never think of SOS as a big late game player either, so I'm a little bit nervous for him in the match.
Well, I think SOS makes the games weird enough that it's pretty hard to actually end up in late game, because I think if he's in that late game situation, he's still fine, but yeah, I see what you're saying. So I think first map's going to be on Acid Plant. I don't know what. I feel like is there a delay or something? I thought we'd jump in. Okay. I second guess myself.
As long as possible.
I know. They don't want to look at our ugly mugs. Okay. SOS. One of the winningest players of all time.
Indeed.
But he does not win in this studio, at least finals.
He's still been in 2 finals. That's pretty legit.
Yeah, but he hasn't won. So that would be crazy if he were to win this Super Tournament.
Yeah.
This would be the start of something.
Yeah, and Super Tournament isn't quite Code S, but it's definitely a very meaningful tournament full of top-end players. So he beat Morrow on the way here. I mean, that's already something more than anyone else has been able to do this year in GSL, really.
Right. Again, a member of the team, Jin Green Wings, basically the best StarCraft 2 team by a million miles.
A trillion miles.
A trillion miles.
3 parsecs, even. Like, the amount that team is better than ever. They win everything, and they're in the finals of everything, at least. That's the worst that they do is the finals, generally. And, like, even Super Tournament, the only Jin Air player, right, here, let me name the roster right now, okay? It's Rogue, it's Maru, it's Cure, it's SOS, Creator, and Trap.
Yeah.
Only Cure didn't make it into Super Tournament. And there was only 12 qualification 14 qualification spots.
Man.
It's like, they're so insane. And the thing is, the two neck and neck guys to get the BlizzCon spot were actually Trap and SOS. Already Rogue and Morrow have their spots.
Yeah.
I mean, the more...
That Jin Air sponsorship, that paid off well for that airline.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how much better this team is than everyone else. But in a single match, anything can happen.
Well, Solar's a one-man army. I've ever seen one. He's a very smart guy. And I don't know what to expect. He's already used up a little bit of his CVP magic getting this far, but what else does he have in store? Did SOS look at those games and analyze them correctly and really get a right read on how Solar's going to play this game coming up here?
Yeah, I'm sure he did. You know, his whole team would certainly be working with him. He's the last one left. They want him going to BlizzCon, not Solar. So I'm quite sure that the coach and all the players were probably putting their heads together and thinking, okay, here's maybe the best builds that you want to do. Here's what you want to look out for. You know, and what a team to do that, especially with like Trap and Rogue on his side.
Yeah.
You know?
We're moments away from actually starting this, guys. Do tell your friends to join us here. I love doing the Super Tournament. I'm sad this is the last day of StarCraft 2 in the studio for this year, though.
Yeah. Well, we still have ASL next week, right? We still have
StarCraft 2
ASL.
Artosis, StarCraft 2. Yeah, we got StarCraft 1 still.
Well, we still get to come back is what I'm trying to say. We can pretend it's StarCraft 2 while we're casting.
Okay. Our players have now joined the lobby, and the game is loading up. This is a best of 5, SOS versus Solar. The winner moves on to the Super Tournament Finals and probably moves on to BlizzCon as well. Let's do this.
GSL Super Tournament Season 2 Semi-Finals Match 1.
The man, myth, the,
Jin Air Green Wings SOS.
which is synonymous with legend,
Yes.
of course.
Get your thesaurus out. You'll see it right there.
Can't think of anything witty for this guy.
Infinity Gaming.
A little bit sick today, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I got lucky. Somehow you're sick and I'm not.
Yeah. I'm going to not cover my mouth while coughing near you, so
That's great.
we're going to see if we can get you all set for ASL this week.
That's right. From the Netherlands, thank you for coming down. 3 fantastic weeks in Seoul. Seoul is a great city.
It is fantastic.
So much cool stuff to do down here.
Yeah.
A lot of great outdoor stuff, but a lot of great indoor stuff like this.
Yeah. I love Korea.
Yeah. It's funny because before I moved here, I did not know it was going to be this great. I was just like, I got to do StarCraft.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here. That's what I'm built to do. I want to do StarCraft stuff, and then it turned out to
completely
be
awful, and I'd still be here.
Yeah.
But it's
If
awesome.
I could only do StarCraft and I had to live in Somalia, I'd be there. But unfortunately, Korea is the place where it's at.
It's a nice.
No offense to the Somalians watching. I've never been to your country yet. I'm sure you guys have lots of nice places there too. But anyways, you guys get the idea.
Yeah.
And guys, if you're watching this and seeing all these people in the audience and thinking, oh, that looks like so much fun, well, you can always come next year.
Yeah.
We got a
GSL,
big-ass studio.
GSL's never going to end,
Yeah.
as far as I can tell. But
So-
we're getting to the level now where it's like, what if GSL did ever end? Like, after 15 years of GSL, we close up shop, and it's like, what?
Yeah, that'd
What
be
a
weird.
sad moment that would be.
It'd be super sad. But no, StarCraft's looking good, man. The future is bright. So we have SOS making an Adept now. He's going to send that out. Also getting that Stargate. Everything looks pretty ordinary now for SOS. Unless we see some really weird movement patterns or something like that with the Adepts.
Yeah, really, both sides look completely normal at the moment. But something crazy could occur. I mean, you can open up normally, too. It's not like SOS can't play, Oracle Phoenix into Archon drop. You can do it.
Okay, that Adept is coming out now. Now, Solar did a really good job steering the game, especially with lane counterattacks when the third was being taken.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we're going to have that this time around.
Yeah, that was a big theme in his play. So that's definitely something SOS would have picked up on.
I think that was one of the big winning things that allowed him to take out Stats. I think Stats didn't get to where he wanted to be,
Yeah. It definitely was quite useful. Quite a few queens being made at the moment. But I wonder because obviously taking a look at all those games, SOS will be completely aware. So I would imagine that his Oracle will just come straight home when he wants to take the third base, right?
Yeah.
So he should be prepared for that. So do you even make the links? It's kind of a mind game there.
It's a good point. Overlord coming through here. Looks like he's barely going to get to see the Stargate.
Yeah.
And he'll see that, in fact, an Oracle's coming up here next. Now, is SOS going to go for a 2-base timing, or is he going to try to expand here? That's what we're waiting to see.
Well, there's only two things this can be. The Charge Zealot all in, or a Glaive's attack into a third base. I mean, I guess it could be a Glaive all in, but that's pretty rare nowadays. The fact that he hasn't taken any additional gas yet?
Our forces are under attack.
Well, let's see. He does have that Robo Bang.
Yeah,
Maybe
this
he's
is a
gonna do
charge
the-
all in.
Yeah, charge all in.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Not a bad idea to start this off like this here. But let's keep in mind the way that this could work out due to the players that are still on the other side of the bracket. You got to be ready for possibly a lot of PVZs, whether you're the Zerg or the Protoss.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Glaive all in, actually.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Because I was just mentioning that is not something you see too often,
right?
The Glaive all in. But maybe because of that, it's a cool thing to do. Sees that third gas, but the third gas is like slightly late, so he might be tipped off a little bit. Also, the Oracle did some pretty reasonable damage. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Okay.
He saw nothing mining from that gas as long as he was quick. That's important.
Yeah. Well, not having the gas, suddenly you've eliminated so many other options and so many other ways that the game could go. So the Glaives upgrade is almost done. SOS chronoing that upgrade so quickly.
There's a handful of Lings out here poking and prodding. He'll see the third base.
Yeah.
Nothing looks that off, to be honest. Like, even the Adept count is okay. It's kind of an older way to play where you have 4 or 5 Adepts when you're taking your third base.
So with this kind of attack, what do you feel is better? Do you want to try to split up the Adepts in a lot of different locations, or are you really trying to bludgeon them at one point? Maybe get all the Adepts behind a mineral patch where the Lings can't quite get there?
I think that you want to start in one area, but eventually, when things start to get hectic, you want to make sure a couple Adepts are somewhere else.
Okay, he's now going into the main here. Here's another warp in to combo with these Adepts that are coming up here. I don't know if Solar's going to have enough. He's going to shade those actually now down towards the natural or the third.
Actually, he gets a pretty decent surround on these Adepts. He's going to eliminate quite a few. A good count of Roach-Ling at the moment.
Whoa, this is getting owned, actually.
Yeah, this is not really working out. He's really not done the type of damage he needs.
Yeah, I don't know if SOS can really come back from this, man. It's pretty bad.
It's tough.
I mean, how are you going to keep your third base alive? Eventually, Solar's going to clean this up, and then your third base for Protoss is going to be attacked.
Well, he is starting to get a few drones. 8 drones killed so far. But that's not enough for what SOS has put in. And from here, like, when this is completely set, I think we're going to see an Infestation pick go down. I think Solar has one of the best counters I've seen. Once you hold something like this, they have to go sync at Robo for Immortals, right? They have to be making 2 Robo Immortal, or they will never hold against your Roaches. Yeah. And thus, Swarm Hosts are going to wreck everything.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like you force him into getting those Immortals, right? But then you can punish him. And if he doesn't get the Immortals, he just loses the game.
Yeah.
So I think Solar's going to gracefully close this game out unless SOS does something incredible or Solar really drops the ball.
It really looks this way right now. See, he's got the double Robos. Solar even goes in and scouts it. His Infestation Pit's about to finish. I mean, a very good situation for Solar right now. And a beautiful observing, turning off that production tab. We're going to have a surprise.
Okay. That's going to stay there for a little bit longer. Till Legs is coming. It looks like Solar started Burrow and then canceled it there. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. There he goes. Stormhouse.
Okay. And, I mean, I don't want to make this game too basic, but the results should kind of
the game has
explain
become
themselves.
Much less complex at this point.
We're in a very one-dimensional strategic situation here where it's just very easy for Solar to do this, and that's because SOS took this risk early on and is basically going to get punished for it. I mean, Solar shut it down. Now Solar, the way the game operates, he's going to get this great opportunity to come in here with an attack that's not hard to pull off. If you're good with Swarm Host, it's not like a tricky micro situation.
No, certainly not. You just kind of send in your waves over and over and gain value over time against someone who's already behind you. So,
Storm's going to come here a little bit too late.
Yeah, and the thing is, Storm is not even that good against this, you know? You want to be not behind when you're playing against Storm Host so that you can threaten counterattacks. You might be able to actually fight the Locusts a few times. But in this situation where you're basically putting all of your money into Immortals because your initial push didn't work, the Storm Host is like the perfect finish.
Dude,
I'm actually surprised more Zergs don't do it.
They're all alone.
That's kind of funny.
What am I seeing here?
Okay, he only sends a few out.
Okay, so he's tagged the Swarm Host army. Problem with the Swarm Host is you can do so much hit and run stuff.
Yeah.
So is he going to come further forward here? Muffins of
certainly.
Doom marching across the map.
Wait, were they Hell Muffins?
Hell Muffins is what they are, that's right.
Look at this. Oh, man. You just have the Locust kind of tank everything. Roaches and Ravagers come in and add extra damage. Good luck, SOS.
And even with Storm, you're probably not going to get a good trade for this. Here we go. So now you can see he has to Storm the Locust, but those are basically free units. So, of course, you know, the next round of Locusts are going to do even more.
Yeah.
I believe that's basically it, right? I mean,
well, he's losing so many of his important units. Some High Templars went down, and definitely some Immortals as well. Even if he ends up holding this, you know, he's just kind of making Immortals right now. And when there's another round of Locusts, what's going to happen?
Yeah, a little warping over here by SOS to try to buy some time to try to sandbag the progress here from Solar. Solar's actually maxed out, guys. SOS is almost to 100 supply. It's 29 army supply to 134.
Yeah, it's pretty pretty different there.
Well, this is going to be really encouraging here for Solar. Oh my God. Yep.
Okay. So, I mean, SOS at this point, you might have an idea for a way to try to do an all-in from here, but I think more likely he's just going to GG after this attack.
Yeah, I think he's just dead.
Yeah.
Now, I do not think SOS is going to try that strategy again. With Solar taking game 1, not the game I thought we were going to see, everybody.
Yeah, I especially didn't expect like a Glaives all-in. But Solar was ready for it, and if you fail in one of these attacks, Solar is going to kill you.
Yeah.
That is that. You are going to go down.
I thought the idea of what SOS is trying to do to start everything off was pretty smart, though. To come out like that.
Sure.
But it's not... if it gets shut down, it gets shut down. Now, that game should not be indicative of what the other games between these guys are going to look like. I still think SOS can do this.
Sure.
But he's going to have better play than that, because right now Solar is just looking so solid. This really is the new iteration of Solar I'm seeing.
I hope it is, man. I'm really enjoying a lot of these players coming back into their high-level play once again. Like, you know, we see a Lenok, we see Keen doing well. We saw Creator play some fantastic games over the last couple days. Here's Solar vying for a BlizzCon spot. Mid-year, I was like, oh no, Solar has zero chance. And he even said in the interview, right? He's like, I did not expect to have any chance, but here I am.
He stuck to his guns, man.
Yeah.
This is what makes this tournaments like this so sick, is we have all these great players. They're all trying and grinding so hard and figuring stuff out. And that's why we get great games like we're having here at the Super Tournament. Our players have now joined the lobby. Parasite is going to be the map for map number 2. Is SOS going to play a standard style? Or is he going to try to do a weird timing? That last timing didn't work out, but one of the weird things about that last timing is really that it's not used that often, because it's overall deemed not as good. So I think SOS was trying to play an almost anachronistic style to throw Solar off, or Solar saying, what? Oh, okay. You pulled a fast one on me. However, it did not work out.
Well, we'll see if he continues with the older builds, or maybe shows us something a bit more modern here going into game 2.
Okay. Our game is up and ready. Game number 2, SOS versus Solar.
GSL Super Tournament Season 2 Semi-Finals Match 1.
That beat is the sound of the little nerd hearts beating everywhere. Watching. Bum, 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 bum.
As well as should be.
Mine's fluttering right now.
Jin Air Green Wings SOS.
There's your boy right there, Tasteless.
My boy. Just being a Tasteless, predicting SOS is going to win.
Yeah.
Infinity Gaming Solar.
I like Solar's EVP right now, though. I kind of always liked it.
Here's Artosis. He's fully in support of Solar because he's still rebounding from the fact that Lenok has been eliminated from the tournament.
Yeah. Season 3
another
was such a
Zerg.
heartbreak for me.
Yeah, I know.
So heartbreaking.
It's sad.
You know, yeah. I feel actually kind of weird about it. I just realized it because you've been making fun of me a little bit.
That's all I do. Oh,
Yeah,
OGSC2. Sure. We love the OG guys.
Yeah.
8 p.m.
Silver League, Zerg, 230 APM. Wow, that's pretty fast for Silver League. I think you might want to research some strategies so that you can get into Masters. But anyways, I kind of noticed this, right? There's some Protoss players that I do quite like, but the players that truly excite me are like Dark and Rogue, Lenok,
Yeah.
TY. Am I a Protoss player that's ashamed of being a Protoss player?
You're a self-hating Protoss
I'm
player.
a
Is what you are.
self-hating Protoss player.
It's strange, too, because in StarCraft 1 you were a Terran player, but somehow there's this affinity for these really good Zerg players, Artosis. What's going on there?
They're so macro-ish in StarCraft 2. Very different from StarCraft 1.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a Zerg at the beginning. So I'm just saying, it's kind of a weird thing, but I've just learned this about myself. I'm a self-hating Protoss. That's why every time that Protoss gets nerfed, I get a very funny feeling in my tummy. I'm kind of angry, but I'm kind of happy.
All right, we're still waiting to see what exactly SOS is going to do here. We're looking to see, is there going to be a third that's going to be snuck out here? You know, when you get a Stargate, if you get an Oracle, you can generally cover your Nexus from a Ling counterattack. Now, you know, it's not always true because if the Oracle is trying to attack the Zerg, then the Lings can come in there and get it. But in theory, if you had the Oracle over there, then you keep the Nexus alive.
I don't think we'll see any more Glaive play out of SOS today.
No,
It's
I definitely don't think we're going to have that, even if he gets to the finals and it's another PVZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just no way.
It's kind of a funny wall in, isn't it? One Adept does not hold that wall.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we're wrong again. Remember that one time that Stats did that on purpose to trick both you and Solar. Remember that?
We both
you
got
guys
tricked.
just came for the bait, man.
Yeah. And you try to convince me that Stats did it on purpose.
He did it on purpose.
Yeah.
It's
too bad he's not here today,
as
so we
he
can go
did the
ask
play,
him.
I went, whoa, and I turned and I looked at the player camera and he winked at me and I was like, oh.
That's when you knew.
Okay, so he's got a hidden pylon up here.
Oh.
Is he getting a gateway up there?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
So this should be Adept play then.
Yeah, so forget about everything that we said about
Well,
what
it's
this
not going
game
to
is
be
gonna
Glaive
look like.
Adepts.
No, but it is going to be Adept play.
Yeah. For sure that. Huh. I mean, that's kind of sneaky. That's kind of tricky. You're not going to expect how quickly Adepts are going to get there.
Also, I think Adepts as a unit overall, you would not expect to be used like that.
It is going to be Glaive Adept play, Tasteless. He throws down the Twilight. I'm not sure the exact timing of what we're looking at here. Is it just going to be 3 gates? Definitely could be. Like 3... Oh, no, he's adding more gates now, too. Okay, because 3-gate Glaive Adepts with Phoenix, like some Stargate units is not super uncommon right now. People have been using it. Let's see what he warps in. Yeah, Adepts.
Okay. I think this should actually work out a lot better than the last game. Because this is a very weird timed out attack here.
It's very tricky, but there's a ton of Zerglings being made, right?
Yeah.
So I guess he has enough gateways that he can definitely defend against that, but if he's defending, he's not attacking.
Yeah, it seems kind of like a half-half build, you know?
Yeah.
He has the proxied gateway, but he is making a Nexus over here. Again, for those of you guys who are a couple of nubbins, just so you guys understand, that pylon placed there with the Nexus, you can really hold off a lot of Lings because, you know, the surface area is just so good. The Lings don't get a good surround like you want them to.
Yeah, he's going to be able to eliminate some of these. Phoenix is coming back. Lifting up Zerglings with Phoenixes, that's always a very weird situation.
Kind of an odd situation overall because, like, he wanted to take the Nexus out. He almost did, but he did get a few more warp-ins. But when is this attack going to come in here?
Well, he's had to warp in so many units at home, he doesn't really have the mass he's looking for.
Yeah. There's a Baneling's Nest on the way now.
I think you wait for Glaives as well.
Glaives is that for sure. But when this Baneling's Nest is finished, the Adepts are going to be horrible. So he needs to do damage very quickly. We've got 8 more Lings being made. And Ling Attack is about to be upgraded here as well.
That's truly quite a few Adepts. I mean, there's a lot of Lings being made, but the Baneling Nest is just about to finish.
Okay. He's going for it. Surprise, Solar. And the drones are now going to be evacuated. Now there's a 4th base being made here.
Baneling's being made as well, but he can actually go up and attack those.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get that many. His Shade's inside here. Drones once again going to be pulled away. But again, when these Adepts get over here, or not these Adepts, these Banelings get over here, what is he going to do?
The Phoenixes can lift some of these as well.
That's a good point.
If he lifts some of the Banes, that would be fantastic.
Okay, whoa. Unfortunately, I think this is the end of this rush now.
Yeah.
Because that last Shade is not going to allow them to get away. One more Adept Shade does come in. We've had 9 drones killed now total.
This is not enough. And now this
I don't believe that SOS is even mining from his Nexus at the 3rd base, by the way.
No, you're quite right about that. He's very low on workers, just 45 at the moment.
Yeah.
So this is just about the end of this attack. I mean, a few more Adepts are coming up, but I'm not expecting much more damage at all.
Sorry to get too repetitive here, guys, but it's kind of the same story in this game as it was in Game 1 here. When this attack is eventually completely held off, will SOS have enough to actually defend a counterattack?
It's a good question. Now, this game is very different from the last. If you went Roaches, you can go into Swarm Host. In this case, where you went Ling Bane, Stormhost is not going to be a viable option. Your whole army is just a little bit too soft at that point. So it looks like Solar's going to stay on Ling Bane for the moment. We'll see what he adds after that, probably a Hydralisk Den, but SOS is going into Colossus tech, which I think is actually quite a nice call.
It's going to be a great way to handle those Lings and Banes for sure.
Yeah. A little bit hesitant to make a Spire, which would be one way to counter it with Corruptors, right? Because there are already Phoenixes out.
And this +1 Ling attack here is really allowing these Adepts to get killed off before they can properly shade away. You know, so much of the strength of the Adepts is the fact that they can play Keep Away for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because right when Legacy of the Void came out, this was the unit that everybody was having huge problems with.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little bit, I think they nerfed it a little bit, but also just the way it moved. We never had a unit that moved like this in RTS before.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, if you can shut them down before they get that second shade off during the attack in their base, you're usually in good shape.
Yeah.
So as Artosis was saying, we got 2 Robos. We have a Colossus range coming up here.
Yeah,
and we're going Ling Hydra here for Solar. Now, Solar sort of built his name off of having great Hydra Baneling attacks.
Yeah.
Having a lot of burst damage that just ends the game right away.
Now, Colossus can play against that, but generally you need some force fields and you need to be around very choked off areas.
Yeah.
Because even though it seems like Banelings aren't a good counter to Colossus, they're actually not that bad. Like, it's really hard to make sure they can't get in at all, but if they can get in at all, it's totally worth it for the Zerg to blow up your army, because once a Colossus army dies, the game's over. It's not like you're diving onto Archons and you're like, okay, well, I killed those Archons, I should win, right? No, 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 no. But in this case, if you get rid of the Colossus, there's no real follow-up.
Yeah.
It's not like you're like, okay, that's fine, I warp in 4 Eye Templars and I have 2 more Archons. No, no, no. You're chrono boosting out. Your Colossi, they're going to come slowly. You kind of need the critical mass of 4 anyways.
You know, it's so funny because when we saw that Adept attacks basically slow down until it finally fizzled out, the supplies are even for the Protoss and the Zerg, but you can really see that while the Zerg was holding that off, they did have the proper economic engine set up to spike up in supply.
Yeah.
We're now at 147, and that number's going to be shooting up a lot more quickly. Now, as you were saying, though, Artosis, there's a lot of Colossus out here. This is not a bad response. In fact, SOS is going to expand towards Solar here.
Yeah, he's got that kind of critical mass as well. More than 4 Colossus, I mean, I guess you could have them, but it doesn't make too much sense.
You're probably
going
to
4,
have,
though, to
you're gonna
really
have
fry
shots
things.
that go off that don't actually connect or mean anything.
Yeah, it's hard to have 6 all fire on the front line at once as well. They get clunky. 4 is the real number. And he is going to start pushing. There's a Spire on the way, so he's got a limited amount of time to get out here and, you know, force units and get some damage done.
Okay, not a terrible hold. SOS has moved out slightly, but he's going to back off. I do like him gooping that hatchery back there.
And SOS teching up very quickly right now as well. He's getting Blink, which is always going to be a good call when you've gone for a big Colossus commitment. He's also going into the Templar Archives. Archons and Storm are both going to be very, very important, because eventually you're going to be able to deal with Colossus. Colossus is a mid-game unit against Zerg, truly. Sure. The later you get in the game, it's just like, no, they have plenty of ways to kill this.
Well, I'm worried he hasn't done enough just yet. I mean, I guess the Colossus allow him to stay in the game, but these Corruptors are going to be coming out here, Artosis.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to kill those off with just a handful of Stalkers, too. And if you overmake Stalkers, that's not good either.
If the Colossus was just a little bit taller, it could hit the Corruptors, Artosis.
I know, right?
I've already been emailing Blizzard since I've been catching this game, pointing out that you need to nerf the Colossus because its legs are so long that it can go up cliff walls. Have you noticed this?
No, you can.
Yeah,
it's so
Blizzard.
Weird. It's almost like it's
too
flying,
long.
but it's not flying.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Okay. The Corruptors are now out, and I don't really see an easy answer here for SOS. The War Prism's taken out. SOS really has no map presence at all. I guess it's okay because he really can't get that far out of his base here.
I mean, he's playing good defense at the moment, which is nice, but Solar's sitting on 5 bases with kind of a little bit of a leg up in tech. Should be feeling good about his spot. But you know what? Storm is going to finish. He's going to have his blink in a moment here. He's starting to add some Immortals as well. So this is something that happens sometimes if you play like a longer game with a Colossus tech opener like this. It was like a transition, right, from the Adept thing. But a lot of times you will kind of backfill with regular units. Archon, Immortal, Templar, Zealot. And it seems like that's what SOS is doing. He knows that his Colossus are eventually going to die, and there's not going to be a point in remaking them, really.
Okay, he's coming forward now. Nice storm thrown down there. Really good hold. But hold on a second. We got some more Banes coming this way.
Yeah, and some pretty good storms. He's actually prevented a lot of the Banes from doing what they wanted to do. And now all the flying units are dead. So the Corruptors are going to be a little bit less useful. Solar just now adding his Infestation Pit, though.
Yeah. Well, this Nexus goes down. That means he's on 3. Oh, wait. Oh, yes, it does. It does go down. Excuse me. Which means he's on 3 bases for the time being, where Solar's operating quite nicely on 5.
Yeah.
Now, with the Colossus gone, it's a general rule, guys, in StarCraft 2 when you're watching Protoss games. If you see a bunch of Immortals die, if you see a bunch of Colossi die, you know, Robo's not like the gateways. You don't get a ton of gateways and then just remake everything.
Yeah.
Those units take a long time to come out. So when those are gone, Protoss is missing a critical tool that usually helps it hold off most of what Zerg has, whether that be the Colossus or the Immortal.
His composition right now is super incomplete. It's like Tasis without Artosis.
That's right.
Or In Control without Artosis, or, you know, StarCraft without Artosis.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's working on it. He's making his High Templars. He's chrono boosting out a couple of Mortals at a time. He's got to get some Archons in here as well. The thing is that Solar right now is going up into his Hive Tech. So while SOS is trying to recover with an earlier game unit composition, Solar's getting ready for Broodlords.
Yes. Okay, another attack's going to come in now. At this point in time, Solar's doing so well financially in this game, he can actually throw huge amounts of armies in here. He doesn't even have to really trade that efficiently. Let's see if SOS can actually hold this location off. Not a lot. Actually, there's no sentries that I can see here, so it's just going to be storms. As long as this army is not going in a complete and total line, should be okay.
Oh, well, that's just a great move by Solar right there. SOS really in a tough spot right now. Baneling's going to start connecting. Not efficiently, but it doesn't matter because he's so far ahead at this point. SOS is down to just 2 bases.
Dude, okay. Solar 2-0. Yeah. SOS has had some really weird starts to the games.
Well, he is just going Glaives over and over. And I got to say, Trap is his teammate. We saw Trap get addicted to the Glaives in GSL Season 3. I'm going to go ahead and blame this all on Trap.
He's addicted to Glaives, you say?
Yeah, he's convinced his teammate.
No,
Glaives. Every matchup Glaives.
Get
Glaives
this
for days.
Get this guy a build that's basically methadone for Glaive builds.
Oh my gosh. Well,
SOS is not looking too thrilled right now. This is not how SOS normally dies, guys. We've all been there, especially against Zergs, where you get a disadvantage and then you're not allowed to leave your base. You have to go play single player for most of the game and eventually you die.
Let's see if he can start to bring it back here in Game 3 on Cerulean Fall.
You're sitting there thinking, well, if I attack, I'll lose my whole army. I can't. And then you're like, if I stay back at home, I'll take the whole map and I'll lose anyways.
Yeah.
Feels
Sums
bad,
up most of my PVZs right there.
Okay. We're going to Game 3, guys. If Solar wins this, he's in the finals of the Super Tournament. Otherwise, SOS has to win every game from here on out. Now, I'm going to be a Tasteless and say SOS can do it. No one's a bigger SOS fan than Tasteless. I believe.
Yeah.
But no more Glaives.
Right.
No.
Glaives. We're done Glaives. We're trying something else now.
All right, our game is now loading up. Guys, tell your friends to join us here. SOS versus Solar in this best of 5. Right now, Solar with a 2-0 lead. Not just fighting to win the Super Tournament, but also fighting for a spot at the BlizzCon. At the BlizzCon
GSL SuperTournament
World Finals.
Season 2.
Good job.
Semi-finals.
Things are going great.
Match 1. Jin Air Green Wings. SOS.
He's got to be a little bit nervous right now. Probably thought he was finally going to go to BlizzCon again, just like he's thought every year.
Yeah.
Infinity Gaming. Solar.
Maybe they should just invite all the previous world champions to BlizzCon each year. What do you think about that?
Oh, you mean like they get auto-seated in?
Yeah. It's like even Genius is there.
No, I was about to say, like, no, I actually don't like that idea.
No? Well, why don't you give me a better idea, Tasis? Why don't you be a
sign.
problem solver and not just a complainer?
Austria. There's lots of solar support here. Where's that SOS support? Is it just me?
It's just you.
See, more solar support. Jeez, guys.
Oh, look at that. The Typhoon cancels flight. It's a different reason to be here watching this, but
We'll take it.
I want to say congratulations, but I'm not sure if I should.
I mean, if we were to invite the old champions, first of all, there's only so many spots, right, for BlizzCon.
Nah, you just make it bigger by one every year.
No. What I was about to say is, what if after 16 years of StarCraft Arctosis, we filled up all the spots? It's just
Do you not like fun? Like, what's going on
yes,
here?
I'm anti-fun.
Oh my God.
There's one thing tasty.
It's like, I don't want more good players at BlizzCon.
The only thing I hate more than fun is laughing. All right, how about
Yeah.
that? No, but it's weird because with SOS he's still good and he's still playing. But yeah, if you have players that are inactive, it's like, what? What do you?
Well, they don't have to come if they don't want.
But they will. It's BlizzCon. It's a free ticket.
Yeah, that's true.
This is why you're not allowed to
But
be in
they'd
charge
probably
of things,
practice
Arctosis.
more then, right?
No.
Maybe Genius won one year, right? Didn't he win the very first year, but it was like an invite tournament kind of? He beat
to check
Loner
on
in
our
the finals,
phones.
yeah. He beat Loner in the finals, I remember. So, no, I mean, he'd probably be more active. He was active semi-recently and still, a reasonable
Well,
player.
some of these guys actually still dabble from time to time. They just don't play.
Yeah.
Actually, pretty much everybody who's played it competitively at all usually will load up the game and mess around.
Yeah, and they'll have a few weeks of trying hard and getting pretty
Yeah.
darn good again. It's annoying to take the rust off, but it comes off.
Okay. The Adepts now coming down here. We're still waiting to see what kind of build.
Oh, it's definitely a Flaves build taste.
Yeah, actually, excuse me. There's a Robo. I wasn't looking at the production tab. No, you're right.
Because if it's an Arc... Oh, wait. It could be the DT Archon drop is what it could be. And I actually was thinking this could be a good build to bring out on this map. Oh, no. It's the Charge All-In. Okay. Oh, yeah. Look. He's only got 8 probes right now. It's natural. Okay. He's going ham.
Now, is Solar going to spot this? This is one of these things, if you know it's coming, you basically stop it and win the game.
Yeah.
A little bit later on. Unless Protoss did enough damage that it was kind of a trade. But, again, like, if there was no Fog of War, you wouldn't be able to do stuff like this in StarCraft.
Well, that sounds like just about the worst game I could
Well,
even imagine.
that sounds like almost every other RTS game that was out for a long time. If you remember when StarCraft
yeah.
first came out,
You'd scout 'em and you'd see it, right?
Warcraft and StarCraft were the only ones that had the Fog of War. You ever tried playing Command & Conquer with your friends in multiplayer?
No, I actually really didn't.
He makes the unit the spy, like tries to walk it all the way across the map that you can see everything on into your base. Like it looks like one of your infantry.
Sounds like a changeling to me.
Yeah, well, that's where the changeling came
Sounds like
from.
they
It's
reverse
actually the
stole from
spy.
us.
They did. They reverse stole from us. Yes.
Listen, Dustin Browder is ours, okay?
Yes. Okay. War Prism coming out now. Now, there's a reason why
Oh.
that's all tucked in the back, guys. This is
the
a
DT
secret.
as well.
He doesn't want this to be spotted at
Yeah.
all.
So this is not either of the builds that we were talking about.
It's not the all-in.
It's pretty darn aggressive. It might turn into an all-in, but like getting Dark Shrine plus the charge here, this is interesting. You never really see it done like this.
Yeah, we'll see if he throws down any more
And
gates here.
this is tricky too, right? Because you start with the charge lots, and then Zerg gets really scared, and then you might be able to just slip in DTs.
Yeah.
Just slip a DT into the base,
And
and
because
suddenly there's no detection.
Solar hasn't scouted this yet, so he doesn't know what type of rush it actually is.
Well, now he does. Well, he thinks he does at
Yeah,
least.
that's exactly. He thinks he does, but there's a variation in it.
Now, look, already he's doing better than Stats
he's
did
going
with this build.
to spot it.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
Queen's chasing this Warp Prism. He needs to get the Warp in. Oh, God! If you don't get the Warp in now that the Dark Shrine's done, is what you're doing going to matter at all?
Solar trying to save that third base. I don't think it's really savable, to be honest. Yeah, the 4 DT's going to come in, and that is going to make quick work of this hatchery.
Yep, and now it's Solar on 2 bases. Things are actually going okay here for SOS.
Absolutely. Like, he can just do Archon drop now, go into Immortals, take the third base. Yeah, this is looking good.
So the first 2 times, Solar was trying to cripple his opponent early on, and it just wasn't working out. But this time, his strategy's actually been pulled out pretty effectively.
Yeah, it was. I kind of liked it. It was just a little bit different from what we're used to. But it kills the third base, and when you kill the third base and your opponent's sitting there on 2 bases making roaches, generally as a Protoss, or really any race, you're going to feel good about that.
Okay. So he should be getting these Archons here soon. There we go. There's still a little bit more room here to do some more harass. Solar is trying to recuperate by taking a third just north of this screenshot that we have over here. And a Spire. Nice.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Let's see where he goes with that.
I guess SOS wants to lean in even more. He's going to do a big warp in over here in the main while these Archons come in here and drop trying to take out some drones. There's no real anti-air over here.
Yeah, he's not really in position to block this correctly either. So already a few drones going down. He's got to be careful about that. Doesn't want to lose the Archon.
Well, that's about the only way that SOS could get in a worse position here.
I like the Spire, though, because with this type of build, when you go for the Dark Shrine for Archons, normally what you do, right, is this comes a little bit quicker and you don't have a Stargate with it. The one with High Templars, you have the Stargate with, you have to bank gas a little bit longer, and then you'll have things like Psystorm as well, and a Stargate, both of which are going to be pretty decent against the Mutas. But here, you really don't have a whole lot to work against that if Solar finds a moment to squeeze a few Mutas out. Oh, it looks like he canceled it, so never mind.
So we have the Ravagers coming up here. Templar Archives here as well. And again, this is just keeping Solar completely under control. The double Warp Prism play really paid off.
Yeah. Should have finished that Spire then, I guess, huh? A Mutalisk would be pretty useful here, wouldn't it, Tasteless?
Well, it's kind of crazy because if you're just going Roach, Ravager, Ling, yeah, I mean, you're right. The Warp Prism can completely and totally freely roam around as long as it doesn't fly into Spore Crawlers or Queens. And he make the Spire again, by the way.
Yeah. Let's see if he cancels
He's going
it
to get spotted again. He could actually drop there and just try to kill it.
Yeah, I think he will, too. It's like the best building in the whole game to force a cancel on.
Yeah. Now you got to make 2 Spires.
Gotta put them
That's the real mind game, Artosis. You make one there, let it die. We got another one somewhere else.
We need an additional tab now. You know how there's like the units lost tab and the resources lost tab and all that? We need a Spires lost tab.
Yeah.
Like how much money has Solar lost canceling, losing Spires?
Yes. The weird thing is Solar knows he's in a really bad position. But there's not a lot he can do about it. SOS is controlling this game so well. I didn't think every single game was going to be SOS trying to do some kind of a timing, but I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, he doesn't really just go for standard late game.
I guess that's true. He really doesn't. He's just got a bunch of good builds he opens up with.
Well, the double prism coming in after the DT hits the natural, saves the Archons. That's what's really important.
Yeah, the Zealots
that Spire again, the third Spire.
Yeah, another pylon coming here. Spire's going to finally finish, and there's about 1,000 gas banked up here. Uh-oh. Ooh. That's not supposed to happen.
No.
Not really the end of the world, though. SOS is going to move out here. The Spire is going to be finishing, so we could have about 1,000 gas going right into air units. But I think it's going to be not before the attack has started.
This is a really big army coming out of SOS. I'm feeling pretty good about his chances with this army right now. Yeah, he's got 4 Immortals in there as well. 4 High Templars with Storm.
Yeah, 5 Immortals even. Yeah, coming down now.
Ooh. What's your plan here, Solar?
I don't know if he's going to have much of one, man.
Yeah, throwing down those vials. See if he gets a couple connections. Not the best, but
chipped off some of that Immortal shield. Now, oh boy. Bet he's going to have 1 DT run inside the main here. Okay, he does manage to block that off.
Yeah, but this army of SOS entirely too strong for Solar this game. Just a very good opening.
GG. SOS is doing it. Can he do it 2 more times, though?
I like that opening a lot, though. Really? Like, you start with, like, 8 charge lots, and the Zerg is kind of panicking. He's like, uh-oh, it's a charge all in.
Right.
You basically get a free kill on the 3rd, and then you have DTs to mess them up if they're being sloppy in any way, and then Archon drop. Like, that was cool.
I think it's a great build, especially with the fact that you have an Archon drop to follow that up.
Yeah.
It's so good. And you have the second Warp Prism anyways. I mean, all you have to do from there as Protoss is keep making Immortals back at home, take a 3rd, get Storm.
Yeah. I like it. You saw that it worked out just perfectly exactly as you said. He just came out with a gigantic army. He was just macroing fluidly but at home. He didn't do that much damage with the harassment after killing the 3rd, right? Maybe ended up killing a little bit less than 10 drones or something overall, losing, maybe 6-7 Zealots, but totally worthwhile. So some cool stuff coming out of SOS. 2 Glaive games, not going so well. This 3rd one, a very creative build, taking Solar down and giving him hope still.
It's time to go to game number 4. It's going to be on Blue Shift. Can't wait, Artosis. What is SOS going to do? Probably another crazy timing, right?
Yeah, he's going to do something sharp.
I don't think he's going to play standard at all. Is Solar going to be able to sniff out what that attack is? Is Solar going to do something crazy as well? Maybe to try to interrupt whatever SOS is doing. Solar still has room to make some risks.
Yeah. Well, in general, his style has been heavy pressure with Speedlings early, right, in the third. So I think we'll see that again.
GSL Super Tournament Season 2 Semi-Finals Match 1. Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
Yeah, looking very strong that last game. Finally putting his name on the board.
Infinity Gaming, Solar.
Still on match point here. What a sick run this could be for him. You know, the Rogues run last year through the Super Tournament #2 that eliminated SOS and got him to BlizzCon. Saw that coming. This one with Solar, not so much. 90 APM.
Yeah, everybody's exposing their ladder ranks here, man.
And it's a Diamond Zerg. I like it.
All right. I like the honesty. I appreciate that.
Well, the other guy was 230 and...
from Tasmania.
Oh, wow.
Oh, now we've gotten people from everywhere. This is great.
Seriously. Oh, look at that.
Whoa. I was too busy looking at the Tasmania sign to realize that Solar's now taking his second hatchery where his third would be.
What's your APM, Tasteless? Last time
My
I
APM's
checked.
pretty bad, dude. It's like probably like 180 or something like that.
Oh, really?
I'm actually, here's the thing is, I'm actually not that fast, I don't think. I think I can be fast, but when it gets to a super late part of the game, I think I just kind of slow down.
Sure. No, 180 is still good, though.
It's, I think it's
You're almost
fine.
as fast as Stork.
Yeah, what is Stork at?
No, he's like 220, 230.
Oh, is he? Yeah. No, I'm not that fast, like, to be honest. I think I'm probably fast at the start, but that's because you're doing everything.
Yeah,
you know, like in everybody's 300 APM at the start. Yeah, everybody's 300 APM at the start of the game.
Of course.
No,
180 is nothing to be ashamed of, Tasteless.
But I also think that it's like APM is not. If you focus on what your APM is, you're actually looking at the wrong thing. Especially if you're new to the game. I guess if you're a really experienced player, then APM can be interesting. But
absolutely. Yeah.
I remember I had this friend of mine, actually Scott, the guy that came out and visited, was staying in my house playing StarCraft 2 when he visited. But I taught him StarCraft when we were in college. Yeah. And it was really interesting. He kept coming back and telling me that what his APM was in each game. And then I look at the game and be like, well, it doesn't matter, man. Because what you're doing isn't going to win. Like,
it's a fun stat.
It's a fun stat, right? Really, when you realize how fast you can go, but then when you realize, like, I'm like, listen, you could have like 50 APM and do just these set of things, you know? Yeah. And that's when he realized, oh, okay, so I shouldn't just obsess about this. Yeah. And then actually, if you guys want to know a little bit of history here, there was what was that guy from the Brood War player from Colorado?
Which one?
Option.
There's several.
Option, or is that his name? There was a guy who actually. He knew how to spam APM to get it over 1,000.
Oh, yeah.
At the start of the game, he would like hold down a couple keys
or
you
something.
Can
hold down keys. You used
so
to be able to, at least.
People would find the replays of him and be like, how does he have 1,000? How is that even possible? Yeah. And then he went to a tournament and like he did the same thing at the tournament too. He like did the spam thing and everybody's like, why are you doing that? And he's like, I don't know, because I'm obsessed with APM.
Yeah. Very interesting build coming out of SOS here. Look at this, 2 Immortals right off the bat. We might be seeing a little bit of a Soul Train coming up here. It's an Immortal Sentry push, possibly.
Yep, looks like he's just now taking out this last Overlord. See if he throws up any other buildings.
He didn't scout the Robo.
The Robo's in a really good spot.
Yeah. If he had seen the Robo, this entire game looks completely different.
Yeah.
But let's see how many gateways he actually ends up going for. Yeah, he's starting to add some additional gates as well, so this certainly is going to be aggressive.
Okay, so Solar trying to come over here. Now, the lack of what he sees at that entrance also can hint to him what might be coming, you know. Sometimes it's what you don't see that makes you suspicious.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, the Prism coming out. And even if he sees the Prism, which it looks like he shall in a moment, you don't look at that and say, oh no, it's an immortal drop. Definitely not.
No. Especially with all the other kind of Warp Prism builds that Protoss has.
Yeah.
This is the thing is, even though there's so many different attacking moves that can come out here, timing attacks for Protoss, you know, I'm actually really surprised he dropped it there.
He's just using up the shields a little bit.
Yeah.
So just
No, you're
reducing
right.
numbers.
I get it. Yeah, no, you're totally right. The shields are
Yeah.
going to come back pretty quickly anyways.
Because like he's gonna just keep on warping units at home. This isn't the main part of this at all. Using the shield cooldowns and just allowing his units to recharge, picking off absolutely anything at this point is pretty useful.
Yeah, because you have all these different types of timing attacks that can come out, they still oftentimes use the same pieces, right?
Yeah.
Like the Warp Prism. So I mean, when you see that, the Warp Prism alone, as you were saying, doesn't tell you, oh, it's this type of attack.
Yeah.
You still have to use whatever data you acquired earlier on to figure this out. Now, this attack is coming forward here now.
Yeah, this is pretty fearsome. That's a lot of sentries. So he's got at least 7 force fields,
He's
probably
gonna
a
have-
couple more on the way.
He can abuse his position here with the hatchery as part of the wall off with the force fields. And there's actually no really easy way to utilize the drones here in the fight. More force fields are coming down. We should have another warp in a second here. Oh, now he's going to shave off a few more of these drones.
Yeah, he's definitely doing a lot of damage with that. Great force fields right there, trapping the Queen and a couple roaches up here. And like the value of what SOS is doing here is gigantic, but he is going to run out of force fields eventually.
Okay, the hatchery's getting pretty low here. It's interesting to note that SOS doesn't target down the hatchery because he's pretty sure he'll still win the fight in the long run if he has his army focusing down the whatever the Zerg comes in. So
During the
Zerg
fight, you
backs up
actually-
and sacks it.
It's something people actually do wrong a lot of the time is focus that down. It's like a giant force field for you in the battle.
Okay, I think this is just going to get worse right now for Solar. We're at the point in time where the Queens are disappearing, and that usually means it's the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
GG, SOS is doing it!
Wow, bringing us right into game 5 now. Huh.
My
Tasteless
man.
has the smuggest
My
look
man.
on his face right now. I wish you guys could see.
Oh. I did the right thing. Decided to be a Tasteless and support SOS.
Yeah.
Am I a genius? We will see.
Well, the line between
If I-
genius and insanity is a thin one, Tasteless.
And if Solar wins, I was a misunderstood genius.
Yes.
He did another great timing attack. Solar looked so strong, it looked like he was going to get a 3-0 until SOS started SOSing him.
Yeah. No more glaive builds, bringing out some really different plays. Like you normally don't see double immortal drop into a soul train, basically.
Guys,
so,
one
great
of
stuff.
these two players is not going to go to BlizzCon.
Yeah. Might be
They're not going to
decided
get
right
that
now.
BlizzCon goodie bag.
Oh, no. Unless they got a ticket and they're going to go anyways.
No. Those are the rules. They're not allowed to even be there, Artosis.
Take your passport and set it on fire.
That's right. We take their passports away. They're not allowed to leave the country until they manage to get to BlizzCon. If you don't believe me, check the ankle bracelets they're wearing right now. No. Everything's on the line right now. SOS and Solar trying for that last spot. Who's going to make it? Let's find out.
Season 2. Semi-finals. Match 1. Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
I tell you, if he wins this, that's going to be a fantastic feeling for him that he took everything into his own hands to qualify for BlizzCon finally again after years of missing out.
Infinity Gaming, Solar.
Of course, with Solar, if he wins, he was saying he might be nervous in that finals because there's so much on the line for him at that point.
Oh, from Berkeley. Welcome. That's a good area, Berkeley.
Berkeley, is that in Los Angeles?
No, that's next to San Francisco.
Oh, okay, I've never been there.
No,
I've been to San Francisco, not Berkeley.
Oakland, San Francisco.
Yeah.
Good area, though. Cool. Now, what is SOS going to do? We're still waiting. We really need that cybernetics core to finish. We start to get a kind of an idea, right, or what is actually going to happen here. More SOS supports. Okay, good. So now see, we get people in the audience starting to support SOS. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or
Were
chose
we
his-
hiding their signs until he won a couple games? Might
yes. Man, Solar. You know, just as a caster, Solar's not the player I think about as much as some of these other guys, because I'm kind of used to him being right in the middle as far as tiers go.
Yeah. He's like
but
a round of 8 guy.
Yeah, he's a round of 8 guy for sure. Okay.
Oh, that's a hiding spot.
Wait. Oh, it's in the Zerg's main. I actually got confused for a second.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was looking on the mini-map because I was looking at you, and then I looked back at
Is
the
he
screen.
going to huck him?
He's going to huck him.
Oh my god.
Huck, who's there?
Huck.
Adepts.
Yes, and for anyone that is a newer StarCraft fan and does not understand, Huck was a pro gamer at the beginning of StarCraft 2. And this was one of his main strategies, was to build a pylon in someone's base, and then if they did not scout it, he would kill them with warpins there.
Yes. I think we saw Parting do this once or twice as well.
Probably. Sounds like something
But this
Party
is
would do.
so SOS with his big, beautiful brain.
Is there any chance he warps in DTs? He's making a Twilight. Is he just going to go Glaives again? Is that what are we going to see? Tell me, Tasis. I want to know. I really do.
I really don't know.
The funny thing about that pylon is that's huge reward with tiny risk. If it gets found and killed, it's like, okay.
What's funny about it is that this is only good because people don't do it at the highest level.
Yes.
If everybody started doing it, it would be like the worst thing ever.
Yeah. And how ballsy is he, right? If he wins this, he goes to BlizzCon. So he's like, you know what I should do? Oh, I'm so happy right now.
Oh, he is nothing but balls
This is
here.
this is such
so
a dumb strategy.
gutsy.
Anyone who loses this on the ladder just like flaming their opponent.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If you lose this online, you're sitting there cursing out your opponent, not realizing it's SOS you're up against.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that SOS staring blankly at the screen? DT rushing you inside your main. You're sitting there yelling at SOS in English that you don't even understand how to play the game. They're staring blankly.
Nothing funnier than when a pro gamer streams and you see whoever they're smashing, flaming them, and it's like, oh, this is just so embarrassing for you. The guy that's losing, like, why are you doing this? This player's amazing.
You're definitely not getting 5 stars as a human being today.
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay. He sees the Twilight. That's not the end of the world.
But the thing is, that doesn't tell you there's a pylon in your main.
Yeah, there's a spore being made in his main as well. Oh my gosh.
But if you can just run down there and target it.
Yeah, because you're not going to see it coming at all because they're invisible. So you're only going to see it when it gets in range of spore, and then you have to react so fast.
And even if you have vision of it, you're probably not looking in your main for something like that, right?
Yeah. And you know that he's going to be doing things like pressuring with these Adepts during that time to try to bring your attention elsewhere. He doesn't care what these Adepts do damage-wise because they are just to confuse Solar.
So he's hoping that Solar's screen is over here. Peekaboo! He's coming in!
Oh, he's actually not going to target the spore at all.
He realizes there's no spore at the natural. And he can still kill drones over here.
Great call. Oh my god, the amount of damage being done is insane right now.
With the Overseers...
he's not targeting right. Good. Well, this is already fantastic,
10.
right?
Oh, this is great.
10 kills. I feel like he could have done more.
Well, it's tricky. There's so many things going on at once, right? Look at. I want to see. I'm looking at Solar's face right now as he looks in that pylon in the main. He's like, oh,
you dirty Protoss.
Right.
Look at that. He's still killing drones.
Yeah. It's harder than it looks to stop the DTs, man, when they're running around.
Yeah.
Cape Boys are pretty good.
All right. So that was pretty solid damage. 13 drones killed overall.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Solar's behind in workers right now. A lot more gateways are coming here.
Yeah.
We're going to have that Archon harass now. It's not like SOS is not good at that either.
Yeah. He's going to go over, harass a little bit while making Immortals and get in charge, adding his gateways. Might be taking a third base here as well. I imagine that we're going to see a follow-up push, just like we saw in the previous, well, not the previous game, but 2 games ago.
SOS really the master of a series. He was down 2-0.
Yeah.
Now it's 2-2, and he's looking to be in great shape here in the last game.
Not over, though. Not over. See what Solar can pull off. He's making a Spire. I think that's a great call.
Yep.
Like, if you are in a very weird position and behind, stuff like a Spire is a great way to come back. Like,
well, you can blindside them with a different unit composition.
Yeah. And Spires lend themselves to base trades.
Yeah.
It seems like SOS is going to be able to make an army that's very difficult for Solar to kill. But when you get into a base trade, things change quite a bit.
Sure.
And I don't know if that's exactly what he'll end up going for. SOS, his goal is to keep so much pressure on that Solar can't even do something like make Mutalisks. So that's definitely something to think about.
Gonna go ahead and try to get rid of this Overseer. And SOS, with this third base, is going to be in very good shape. Will he predict the Spire at all? I mean, even though the Spire's a good choice, I think if you took a beating like that, isn't that one of the most logical things a Zerg would do?
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
Because Zerg's behind. I mean,
you got to do something radical, right?
Yeah.
But he's coming out to pressure. The Mutalisks are already on the way. Oh gosh,
So
two
he's
more
gonna get
Archons
so many
made.
so many Archons when you do this DT style tech.
He's going to counter here.
Storm is a ways away, of course, but I think he just did his
he can
warp.
surround it.
But instead he runs by.
No, he actually did surround it.
Okay, the push is happening.
Yeah, this is a scary one. Great force fields immediately. Uh-oh, Solar losing a huge chunk of his army right now. I think SOS might have done it, Tasteless.
Mutas are going to try to counter across the map, though. Does he have the defense? The Spire, by the way, has been spotted by a DT.
Oh, these Mutas definitely going to get some damage done over here. Now, how can Solar hold on against this many Archons? Oh, he's pulling every drone, everything he has. He needs to eliminate these Archons especially.
Yeah, and ultimately the Mutas can't fight the Archons. There's just nothing you can do, so... Even if SOS is losing probes, I mean, who's really dying faster here? It's clearly Solar.
If he can kill all the probes and then kill the Archons over on this side, the Mutas can clean up and maybe he has a chance. That's what he's trying, but almost all of his drones are gone at this point.
Yeah, 55 drones have been killed. It's just a small group of roaches. More Protoss, everything still coming through. SOS with about 300 minerals in the bank.
Yeah, and I think that is just about that. Solar knows it. He has nothing left here. SOS's army absolutely not going to fall. Either side, though, doesn't really have anything left as far as workers.
Yeah. Solar has 0 drones. SOS has 10 workers.
Yeah.
He's now sending 2 Archons in the War Prism to go guard the Nexus.
Yeah.
While the rest of the hatcheries are destroyed, and that should be checkmate.
And those 2 Archons actually will deal completely with these Mutas as well. Solar just doesn't have enough anything now.
That's it.
GG,
SOS, the comeback kid. He's going to the finals of the Super Tournament. And
BlizzCon. He is the final competitor to make it to the World Championships after so many years. The only 2-time World Champion.
You can see him reflecting on it. It's hitting him now. So many difficult years. The 2-time World Champion is back to grab a 3rd.
Yeah, and if you don't put him down as a favorite,
you're crazy.
You are crazy, okay? He's never lost BlizzCon.
Yeah.
$100,000 prize pool, never lost.
Yeah.
Never lost. It's more than that, too.
I feel for Solar. He had such a strong showing, but you're facing off against the master of best of 5s, best of 7s.
Solar did look so strong, and especially
really
after 2-0, I was so excited just to tell you how dumb you were to think SOS is going to win, but Tasteless, he did win.
He did it. He did it again. You got to believe. Look at all these beautiful people in the audience. What a great night.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We're not even close to done.
No, we're not even a third of the way done.
Listen, guys, if you're watching them, you better order delivery. Because we got the next part, the semifinals, Darkford Classic, then the finals of the Super Tournament. We will be right